Ali, go to the stage. Viper Vets. What's going on,
Is this
Ali?
Hey, what's
vibing?
going on? What's going on? What's going
Ali with the
on?
Happy
specs.
Tuesday.
I'm trying
That's
to match. I'm gonna try to match Kitty's energy. Usually you got yours on, so I
I
don't
ain't
know
got
what
mine
to
on
do.
today. I'm gonna
You
be
know,
back at y'all tomorrow.
I see DC down. Listen, Houston, we got a problem. It's hot in here, like Nelly be saying.
Yeah,
I don't understand it, Ali. You
Mm,
know,
mm,
I'm pretty
gonna be
upset with Houston
burning
right
up.
now. This is not what we need right now.
this is not what we want.
I don't know who told them that it was gonna be okay to hit us with
I ain't
105 to
ready.
112 heat index. Are y'all
Mm-mm.
crazy? It is
Mm.
Mm-mm.
May.
Your AC better be working.
Can't
Let me
nobody
calm
breathe. Can't
down.
nobody breathe in that.
Can't breathe. It's
Mm,
hot. And right when kids are getting out of school for the
I
summer. Oh
know.
Lord.
I
make
had to
sure you
get
drink,
my daughter's AC checked. Lord.
Yes,
drink
on our car. Yes, ma'am.
drink water, and make sure you check on folks that you know that are not, maybe healthy or elderly. You got to make sure you do
Yeah.
that. Real.
Yeah.
Not only that, you got to bring your pets in because they can't stay out in this heat
No,
either.
they can't be out in this type of
Just,
heat.
just mad disrespect for Houston. I'm so sick of y'all. Go ahead,
And
Ali.
by
Why
the
don't you
way,
go?
I have glasses to see. I guess I'm nearsighted. I don't know what I am, but I don't need glasses. These are the Blu-ray glasses. It stops the blue rays and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I'm looking kind of smarter like DC right now. So I'm liking this.
I
Yeah.
understand.
Looking DC-ish.
Glasses give you a whole new
It's a
look if
smart
you think
brother.
about it.
Man, Trump should wear some of these shits. You know what I'm saying?
Glasses ain't gonna help that. Come on now.
Okay, all right. I was
Okay.
trying. I'm just
No,
saying.
don't even try it. I've been wearing
Not gonna
glasses
help
since I
that.
was 9 years
That
old.
is that's he near the upper room. Okay, ain't
Mm,
nothing gonna help that.
mm,
He
mm.
he on his way to the upper room.
All right.
No, we
Listen,
all got a day.
I
We
want to
all
say
got a day.
what's up to all the veterans. Good morning. And listen, and I'm not only focused on veterans. I'm focused on people who know veterans, people who are family members of veterans, dependent on veterans, because we need to make sure we all are in the know and we're not leaving the veterans to figure it out or have the knowledge by themselves. All right. So we're just going to talk about a few benefits you get if you're 100%, and sometimes some of these things are simple and people think that everybody knows, but sometimes we just don't know and don't have the information. So I'm going to kind of pause between them. I'm not going to try to take up a lot of time because I know DC and Reggie, they always come with a lot of information, and we all got to be here and make sure y'all stick around for that because they are up next. These are the leaders who mentor, and they shoot, man, they just doing their thing, man. They autopilot right now. That's it. They autopilot. So make sure you check out those guys and make sure you follow them on all the socials. Make sure you follow our plugs. Make sure that you go to YouTube. If you're in the chat, you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Go to TikTok. Go to Instagram. Go to all socials, and let's get it going. All right. So I'm gonna bring up this video. And it's gonna talk about a few benefits, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some examples. I'm gonna go over some of the examples of um, some of the things that they're talking about. Just kind of break it down a little bit. Let me bring it
Five
up.
benefits from veterans who achieve 100% permanent and total disability rating from the VA after service. And I am going to touch a little bit on a really cool thing with the income you're receiving here at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned because it's one of my favorite benefits. And I think it's important to talk about this, not because I want to go off and be like, you all need to get 100% P&T, but because there's a lot of benefits outside of the monetary side that people just don't know. And I say this as somebody who, after about 2 years of going back and forth and filing with the VA, and I'm gonna make a video about that whole process and how to do that, I finally got a rating of 100% permanent and total, which, yay on one end, and also like there's a reason you get it. So there's a lot of injuries associated and things that anyone who's been there, done that gets it, right? So it's not like yay without So we're going to talk about it real briefly. The very first one obviously is that you get full medical and dental for the veteran. This obviously, even at any rating, you get full medical and dental for or full medical dental for anything that is the reason you're getting a rating. So if you got your foot crushed, you get taken care of for that. If you got your arm broken, you get taken care of for that. But at 100% PNT, you get full medical and dental forever, as well as full medical for dependents, which, you know, as somebody with a kid who broke his arm falling off a front porch on the 4th of July 2 years ago and is inevitably going to get injured again if he's anything like his daddy, it is nice to know that that's covered. So that is an incredible benefit. And, you know, if you've got a whole family, they're all covered, right? Which is cool. And that's also incredibly valuable from a monetary standpoint because it's another massive expenditure that you as a veteran don't have to worry about. And I think that's huge.
Yeah. So when you talk about full dental and medical, it's expensive just to stay alive. So having the benefits, especially dental, people understand. I understand why I look at some people and I'm like, damn, I know why they have the gums and the teeth they have now, because it is expensive out here to look good in these streets. I'm just saying. It's
Ollie, it is expensive. It is very expensive.
It costs to keep it.
It does
tight.
cost to, you know, keep it. Yes.
I got a crown, and I was like, that,
crowns are.
That.
Woo, yeah.
It is so veterans. If you're 100, so what happens is too, if you work for someone, you could deny the health coverage because you already got health coverage. Save that money, put it in your pocket. Make sure you know your benefits. Take care of your gums. Take care of your health because it's important now. Hey, and listen, I see some of these people. I understand it. Listen. Dental work is expensive in these streets. All right.
Let's not even talk about with the kids when they start needing dental work. Yeah, I went through the whole braces with my child. Braces are astronomical.
Rent is too damn high. Rent is too damn high. You're right. You're right. Let's get to the next one.
All right, number 2, and this is not for every state, so check with your state, but there are property tax reductions and or exemptions. So in Texas, which has a relatively high property tax as opposed to a lot of the other states, you know, a veteran who's a permanent total, like 100% disabled veteran does not pay property tax on their primary residence. That could save you thousands of dollars a year, which is awesome. And it, you know, again, it's not every state, but I know Florida does this. There's a couple other states. Do your research, but that is a lot of value, especially if you pay your home off, because if you pay your home off, that means you actually don't have expenses other than like utilities and maintenance, which is huge with the property, because one of the biggest complaints is like, even if you pay your home off, you're still paying taxes on the place. Well, in this situation, you're not. And I know that's also an incentive to move to those states, because where I live, it's not the case right now, which is unfortunate because it would save me $4,000 or $5,000 a year. And it also allows, you know, it would motivate me to maybe want to move to Texas, which I've already thought about moving to Austin in the past when my son's older. So, you know, we'll see. Number 3.
Hey, don't listen to what he said about
We're full.
Yeah, you're not taking. Texas is not taking anyone. Texas is closed for business.
Texas is closed. We can't.
Man, but them if I should have been a vet. I should have went and signed up. Is it too late?
Yes, it is. Honey.
You could do something. I don't know. But
can I do the reserves? Can I do the reserves?
No, it's too late. It's too late for both of us.
A lot of states, they offer tax exemption for property. Also, and he's going to talk about the rest of it. But that is a huge deal. Imagine not have to pay property tax for the year, because those property tax, they are mean and ugly when it comes to all them zeros and commas. That's not good. I need to keep some of that because eggs are too high. I need my gums fixed, so I can't be paying property taxes. You know what I'm saying? So if I save on dental, I could. Yeah, anyway, so check your states. I'm just saying, check your states. Check your states, because a lot of these states are doing the same thing. And we're going to roll through some more of these. And these are some of the benefits. If you know a veteran, make sure that they get to the tax office, supply them with their benefit letter so they can take that damn taxes off their yearly expenses. You need that money to stay in your pocket. All right, let's get to the next one. This is number 3.
Is dependent education for yourself. There's a $50,000 grant, bonus, stipend, you know, however you want to call it, that is eligible for you or dependents with any state-funded education for you being 100% PNT. So if my, I'm not married anymore, but had at the time my wife wanted to go to school, I could have given her $50,000 towards that. My son, when he turns of age, can get $50,000 towards school without utilizing my GI Bill, which is cool because I had been saving my GI Bill for him because, a whole nother video aside, I didn't end up getting to be able to transfer it because I didn't understand the process and I messed it up. Now I can use my GI Bill without taking away from him because he can go to school using this grant, which is huge. Number 4.
So you check with your states. You get, if you're 100% PNT, education benefits are there for you, yourself, for your spouse, for your dependents. Now, if you're military and you're active, or you know somebody who's military and active, if before you get out, if you don't transfer those benefits to your spouse or dependents, you're going to incur 4 years. So if I'm getting out and I'm like, oh, I'm getting out in a year, and I'm going to transfer my benefits to my spouse and kids, guess what I just did? I just signed up for 4 more years, because you have to have 4 years on your contract. So what I'm saying is, if you have 4 years left on your contract and you want to transfer your benefits, go ahead and do that, because it requires you to put 4 more years in once you transfer those benefits.
Can you transfer the benefits after you get out? You have to transfer them before.
Nope. You have to have 4 years on your contract, or willing to do 4 more years for you to transfer them bad boys.
Oh, so say if you sign up,
you better decide fast. You better be forward thinking.
Yeah, when you sign up, you need to decide that you're going to transfer your benefits right when you sign up, if you only plan on doing 4 years.
Yeah, because this is the thing what people don't understand. You could transfer your benefits, but you could limit the amount they take out, right?
Really?
Limit that. You can set the amount. Oh, I want you to have 5 months, or I want you to have 0 months, even though I transfer it to you. So it's all there under your control, but you need to transfer it because you're going to incur 4 years. The military ain't playing with y'all. All right, let's go to number 4.
Is student loan forgiveness. Now, I'm not one of these advocates that runs around thinking everybody's college debt should be forgiven. That's not me. I am a firm believer of, like, if you took out the debt, you should pay off the debt. You shouldn't take out debt that you don't intend to pay off or have no means to pay off.
These remarks are his remarks and his remarks only, not the remarks of the station and our plugs.
Because that's just bad financial literacy. That being said, 100% PNT veterans are allowed to pay off their student debt once. And that's huge, because if you did go into debt, going over your GI Bill for education or whatever that may look like, this allows you to get rid of that debt and set yourself up for success. Again, this is some of the biggest benefits for the 100% PNT, right? You get paid monthly, which is, guaranteed by the government, tax exempt, and everything else. You also get lower medical, lower, college tuition costs, student debt forgiveness, and all these other benefits. So the fact that you're mitigating a ton of expenses is just as valuable, if not even more valuable, than the income you're receiving. And I am going to touch a little bit on a really cool thing with the income you're receiving here at the end of this video. So make sure you stay tuned, because it's one of my favorite benefits, but it's also one that I knew about. So that's not the point of this video. Number 5.
All right. So he's not going to mention it yet, but along with the property tax exemption, you also, I hope he's not the next one. You have your vehicle, right? If you have registration, you could get your vehicle registration. You got to check with your state, right? You get an exemption on your registration. So in Florida, you could get your exemption for one car, but if your name is on all the cars in your household, you could get a DV plates for all those cars. What happens is, when you go to the airport and you're trying to take a trip, going to wherever you're going, you could park at the airport for free. And that's for most states. I know Virginia does it. Some other states do it. You could go to the airport. Atlanta, also Georgia do it. Different states. So check with your states. That DV plate definitely gonna keep money in your pocket. So not only you're getting money, you're keeping money, and you're not spending these money on expenses that you don't need to spend it on. So, all right, let's go to the last
5. And this one again varies by state, but free car registration. So,
as I said,
a lot of states offer free registration for 100% PNT disabled veterans, which is awesome. Not quite as much of a savings as, say, property taxes, but it is an annual expense, and it is nice to not have to pay that, especially on like newer cars that registration can get a little expensive. In some of these states, it is a few $1,000s to register a vehicle. So if you're able to avoid that expense, it is just another bit of money you get to keep in your pocket, which I love. Now, I know we said 5, but as we were talking, I realized this one, so I threw it at the end. This one didn't even cross my mind because it's something I've known for years, but a lot of people probably don't realize it, and it may actually be one of the cooler benefits. And that is when you're going to qualify for a mortgage. So say you're going to do the VA loan, for a house hack, which is my personal favorite strategy. I got tons of videos on that. So I'm not going to go too far into that rabbit hole right now, but just know VA loan, house hacking, go do some homework. That is my favorite strategy for starting off with real estate investing and home ownership, and can absolutely set you leaps and bounds ahead of your peers financially. But let's say you're going to go qualify for a mortgage with the VA loan. They have to do a debt to income verification, which means they take all the money you make and all the debt payments you have, minimum payments, and whatever those debt payments are as a percentage of your income. So let's say you make $5,000 a month, and let's say you have $2,000 a month in debt. That could be credit cards, auto loan. They count your mortgage. This is we're doing your back end debt to income, so after the mortgage. So they count that. Then that would be a 40% debt to income ratio, because 40% of your income goes straight to debt payments before anything else, right? That measurement is what ultimately, and more than anything else, adjusts how much of a loan you're going to be able to get from the bank. They want your debt to income to be really like as low as possible, right? And there's 2 ways to fix this. You can lower your debt payments, which is why lenders tell you, like, don't buy a car while we're in this process, because it could mess up your whole mortgage product or process. Because if you get that loan and that debt puts you over the debt to income ratio requirements, then you're hosed, right?
Yeah, so you get more benefits than you know. You want to check with your state, right? Definitely want to check with your state and make sure that you look into each state. Some states offer different things, other states don't. But there's a lot of benefits that veterans get when they're from 0 to 100. Especially if you're 100, you want to take care of the business. You want to make sure that you don't leave anything on the table. We talked about the benefits that you can leave for your spouse and your kids. Don't take that for granted, right? We salute 1% of those who serve and the 3% who are retired. And listen, not everybody wants to serve. Not everybody had the opportunity to serve, and not everybody can serve. So make sure that we are taking care of veterans. Make sure that, and we have family members of veterans. They serve too.
Yes.
They serve too. They are, because while we're serving or we're deployed, they're holding the family down. We don't have to worry about it. They deal with us not being there. I mean, it's a whole different ball game when it comes to dependence. I mean, it takes a strong person to be a dependent.
Yeah,
it does.
I just recently, with insurance, I had to add my child to our car insurance, and skyrocketed, went straight up. And so just randomly, my grandfather texted me. He said, "Hey, I was just thinking about you, and you guys, y'all probably qualify to get a discount through my USAA because I'm your grandfather."
Yes.
And he told me, and I'm like, "Oh." He was like, "So at your renewal," I was like, "Forget the renewal. Let me call."
I'm calling now. I know that's right.
Hello.
I said, "Let me try to get a."
Hello.
Can I speak to your customer service agent, please?
Yeah, it stretches far. Like you would think, like a benefit to your grandchildren that you can give. The USAA. So I was happy to hear about that.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I didn't even think about that though, but that is very smart, because my dad, he still helped with my kids. The only thing is my daughter is, my dad's deceased now, but my daughter's a vet. Let me call my daughter and see if I can get on her insurance. I'm trying to cut costs. Y'all know how expensive it is?
It is, especially here in Texas.
Man. Well, in Florida, can you guys even have insurance? Oh, it's flood insurance that they won't let y'all have. That is crazy.
I think we should get the money back if we don't use the insurance at the end of the year, or
I
get
do
something,
too.
10%, something.
At least 10 something.
Can we get?
We need to get some of it back, because that is the biggest hustle
It is.
is insurance. For real. They
Biggest
get
con.
all this money all year long. And you may be a great driver, never get into any incident. Where my money?
Why am I just giving it to you on a maybe? On a maybe.
Who y'all using my money on? Everybody else who messing up.
That part.
I mean, if you think about it, it's you're paying for a if it happens. If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Just in case. Give me your money just in case.
Just in case.
Damn. Brent is too damn.
I think we all have just gotten bamboozled over the year. DC, you are right. It is a Ponzi scheme.
Ponzi.
It's not fair.
That's the Madoff right there.
Yeah, I didn't have this conversation for years about this, and now I know at one point I was an insurance underwriter for 11 years for Progressive. I worked there for 11 years as an underwriter. Yeah, so I know pretty much about the ins and outs of insurance.
So you can see a scammer coming down the road, huh?
Insurance is something else. Because when I tell you how they do it, they're actually brilliant.
I mean,
they're brilliant, and we gotta have it. We gotta have it. Ain't no option.
You don't have an option, because if you don't have a insurance on your car, you can't drive your car. You lose your license.
If I could learn how to start an insurance, I'm just saying.
I don't know. Insurance seems so boring to me, though.
It is.
It is, and I'm an analytical person.
I worked in claims. Was more exciting because in claims you could, But
girl, what happened?
They did what? Who
did what?
But claims was a little more exciting.
Yeah, underwriting is boring. It's
underwriting is a lot of laws, policies. Different states. You got to know different laws, so it's tedious.
It is.
See what y'all did. But listen. If you don't have insurance, you better get your ass some insurance. Get yourself some insurance.
Stop cursing, Ollie. Go. Viper Vets. I done put it in the private chat. I'm gonna get you.
Sometimes people slip. It's all good.
Yes, it's
get insured.
We apologize, WKRA 92.7 the change.
We TikTokers.
We're TikTokers, and sometimes it does slip, but we are.
If you hit my car, we're gonna have.
You gotta cut it out.
I need to see your insurance card of mine.
Yes, I need some insurance card if you do hit my car. Ali, thank you so much for bringing that information to us as usual. WKRA, he is a vet, so you know how vets are. So we just gonna overlook that and
it's all good.
Moving.
I serve on Navy bases too, so you could call me a sailor.
I know that's right. And
thank you for your service, Ali.
Absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate you too.
Thank you for the information.
Take care of your vets and take care of the vets and the family of veterans. All right.
Absolutely, we sure will. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7. The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciate it. God bless.
Let's be real. Being a woman means juggling everything: careers, families, goals, and somehow our health ends up last on the list. But what if your wellness came first? At Nutrition U Design, we believe healthy living shouldn't be complicated. From custom meal plans to one-on-one coaching and specialized lab testing, we're here to help you fuel your body and feel amazing every day. It's not about dieting, it's about thriving. It's about energy, balance, confidence, you. So if you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and in control of your nutrition, let's do this together. Contact Nutrition U Design today and design a healthier you.
Opa May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opal May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection from on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We just got through finishing up our segment with our brother. His name is Viper Vet. He is a veteran and he comes every Tuesday with wisdom for our veterans. We appreciate his knowledge. We appreciate him passing it on and letting our veterans know that you do have a voice. You have a voice on WKRA 92.7 The Change, and you definitely have a voice with our plugs. So we appreciate you, Ali. And I just can't say enough. But now we are going to switch it up just a tad bit and bring our brothers up. They are the leaders, our leaders who mentor, our leaders who get it done. Hi, DC. Hi,
Good
Reggie.
morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, brothers.
Good morning,
Happy
brother.
Tuesday.
Happy
Happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Mine ain't
Absolutely.
working, Kitty. Why mine stop working?
Uh, it works when it wants to work. So, guys, how was your weekend? How was everything?
Lovely weekend. Glad, up here in the Midwest, the weather's starting to break. So we're starting to get some warm weather. So definitely much appreciated. And I'm sure Reggie's enjoying the beautifulness of Southern California.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's nice. That's nice. Don't talk to us about weather. Not for the next 10 days. I'm truly disappointed in Houston and how, I mean, it's May. Y'all cutting up? Who I need to call? That's what I want to know. Get them on the phone. Let's talk about it because I'm not ready for any of this. If you've never been in Houston, you won't know what I'm talking about, but
I'm
you
gonna
got
call
your,
the Lord because the
yeah,
Lord
yeah, well,
is the
I
Lord's
talk to
work.
God every day, all day. But my goodness, 10 days, 105, 112, not ready. But
I
anywho,
blame Trump. I blame
yeah, I
Trump.
blame him for pretty much everything. So, you know, but it's good to see you guys. I'm glad you're here with us today. I know that you guys typically take over, so I'm gonna let you guys take the floor, and we're gonna sit back and listen because you guys are leaders. Did you guys hear Miss Morning's affirmation?
I
Miss
did. I
Morning started. I
did.
loved it.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, it was.
It
She
was
knocked it out the
wonderful.
park. Yeah,
It was
it was.
Always
wonderful.
on always on point. Always on point.
Always. Yeah, always on point. So go ahead, DC. What do you have for us today?
Hey, well, in this time of madness and chaos, we're actually in celebration season. This is the time where our students walk across that stage, whether it be high school or college, and embarking on the next chapter of their life. So we want to celebrate and acknowledge our graduates first and foremost. And Reggie and I are here today to try to help them navigate through the next phase.
Okay.
For our college graduates and our high school graduates, let's touch on the high school graduates first. Um, as you embark on your college journey, it's an experience. Most of us treasure and enjoy. So we want to make sure that the students are safe. Parents learn about Blackboard so you can check your students' grades. Don't be one of those parents that drop your kid off at campus and next time you see him is at Thanksgiving break. Stay engaged. I mean that freshman year can be very distracting, without having mom and dad there on your shoulder. So parents, please stay engaged with your students' first year transition as a freshman. So many things pop up. I can remember one of my childhood friends on this freshman journey. It was hard for him. And literally for the first semester, he never went to class. He just stayed in his dorm room and watched soap operas every day. That was his deal. And
Mm,
so when the midterm grades came out and his parents saw the grades, they were shocked. They were like, "What's going on?" And for him, the adjustment was very hard. Not having the social support that he needed, and it caused him to withdraw and become depressed.
mm.
So it happens a lot. Um, so I have another friend whose son was accepted into Cornell, one of the best colleges in the nation, and he pretty much did the same thing. But his parents didn't find out about it, and probably for the entire freshman year, they didn't find out that he had withdrew himself. After the first quarter, he withdrew from school. He just never came home. He just stayed. He just stayed at the location of the college and just never came home. They didn't know. So I encourage the parents to please, please, please stay engaged with
Yeah.
your students as they transition through that first year of college. Reggie, you have any input on that?
Absolutely. Just in life in general, beginnings are always difficult. Just think about it. Riding a bike, learning to ride a bike, learning to swim, your first day of school. It's like those are moments of awkwardness and finding your footing. And, it just, we all experience it differently. Just like to your point, DC, you said that the one young man experienced, depression and being withdrawn. But then on the opposite end of that spectrum, other, young people can in experiencing their first, real, moments of independence and freedom, they can, again, it's party like a rock star. And of course, that can, we've seen, a myriad of instances where that can end up actually being dangerous, and we can actually end up losing loved ones. So it is
Yeah.
imperative, to your point, DC, that we as parents, stay engaged, and just check on our loved ones, check on our kids, check on our friends, family, whatever, whoever you are in
Drop in.
proximity.
I was saying
Exactly.
drop in. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Reggie.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whoever you are in proximity to that person, just check in. As pull up, as DJ Kitty, drop in, pull up. Because we all need each other.
Yeah, we do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for our college graduates that are embarking upon their first job opportunities, there's a vast network that still exists for diversity. A huge network that still exists, even though we've seen in the media a lot of companies pulling back their diversity and inclusion policies and programs. There's still a lot of companies that have rebuffed that idea and is still embracing diversity. And when I say that, there's networks, and I'll give you guys a few that I have researched. Um, One of them is the minorityAccess.org, minorityAccess.org. What this website does, it provides a list of companies that provide internships that support diversity. Okay. Um, Even our Congressional Black Congress, they have an internship program, and you can simply go to the Congressional Black Caucus's website, and it has a tab where you can apply for an internship with the Congressional Black Caucus. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for our students to still uh, embark upon a journey where they feel wanted and embraced due to their cultural or their difference. So that network still exists. There's also a website called Diversity X, and they have job fairs throughout the nation that specifically, again, embrace diversity. There's one coming up in Austin. There's also one coming up in Memphis for our Memphis listening audience.
Good.
And so I encourage everybody to simply Google Diversity X, and they have a schedule of job fairs in your local area or vicinity.
You know, DC, I'm glad you are doing this because I can actually add these to the newsletter, which I'll add on Sunday, and I'll go ahead and put the link in. So all they have to do is open up the newsletter and click on the link, and it'll pull the information up for them. So if you're out there listening and you're interested, go ahead and go to ourplugs.com, create you a general user account, and this is what we want to continue to bring to our listeners, our avenues, so that they can get the information and data that they need. So that'll be on this Sunday's newsletter. Go ahead, Reggie.
I'd also like to your point, DJ Kitty, consider our plugs as a resource. We are the leaders who mentor. DC is well aware of opportunities within his industry. I am aware of opportunities in my industry and in other industries. And please understand that we are only occupying the seats and the positions that you will occupy as people who are stepping into the career space in 5, 10, 15 years. So we have an obligation to ensure that we are a bridge for you and a door to those opportunities. So, sign up for a general membership in our plugs. Again, it's a community directory with, professionals who are connected to all types of career, who are currently operating in all types of career spaces. So again, if you're listening to this broadcast, consider us as a resource as well, our plugs.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely. And one of the other things I wanted to touch on is, as a parent that has raised three boys, not everybody's cut out for college, and it's not a ding against anybody if they choose not to attend college. There's plenty of avenues. One of which Miss DJ Kitty was talking to us about last week was the maritime opportunities that exist out there. Um, as a parent, and I feel sometimes I think about it back, you know, never kill your child's entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
If they have an idea that they want to really pursue, you attempt to support that idea, because obviously that's something that they're passionate about. It may not be ideal what a parent foresees for their child, but when you kill entrepreneurial spirit, you could be forcing someone down a alley where they may never find happiness in a career, to suit the parent. So that's one thing I learned through raising three boys. All three were different. All three had a different passion for different things. And of course, old school, you want to force all of them through college. You need to go to college. You need to go to college. And that's one thing that I learned, is that not all of them were cut out for college.
Mm-hmm.
They're all successful, and they all chose their individual pathway. And maybe I couldn't see it, as a parent, because we're so driven. We want something for our
Yeah.
children. But I say this as a lesson learned for me: never crush a child's entrepreneurial spirit. It takes a lot of courage to jump out there on your own and support your own idea and your own dream. So support that.
Absolutely.
And to
Absolutely.
your
I agree. Did you want to say something, Miss Morningstar?
I was just agreeing, like
Yeah.
that's good advice, CC, because yes, a lot of people push that college on our kids, and it's a debt for a
Yeah.
lot of kids. It becomes a debt later on in life. Some get full rides, others have to go through grants and then get loans and etc.
Yeah.
So it's like let them kind of make a decision, because there are great trade work that you can do and make
Absolutely.
great careers. I mean, longevity careers out of doing some type of trade. So college does not have to be your next step. Just encourage them to be
Do something.
encouraged to do
Yes.
something.
To do something. I agree with that. There's so many opportunities from welding to plumbing, and these
Yeah.
are really good jobs. I know plumbing,
Sustainable.
yes, doesn't go away.
They don't.
And
People is gonna
plumbing
always
is,
need a plumber.
yes,
They're gonna need
always,
someone to do their yard work. They're gonna need somebody
always.
to fix. I mean, it's always something in there.
Yeah, heated and air
Yes.
conditioned. People
Heating
Oh,
and
hate being
AC.
cold,
Oh my
and they
goodness.
hate being hot. So you
that's
always
right.
gonna get a call.
You already
Absolutely.
know. You are, and not only hate being hot, we all have to get our AC service since we're stepping into HELL in Houston. I said what I said, yes.
And can I say this? This is off the topic, but just kind of not off the topic. It's a bird in my chimney.
Oh my goodness. Who
So
would ever
I
get the
can't.
bird out the chimney, y'all?
I look Google. I said, how do you get the bird out the chimney? Because I'm like hearing this bird. I'm like, what is that? And they actually have a business,
A service.
a
Yeah.
service that can come and get the bird safely out of the chimney, or the animal,
Wow.
or whatever. Because you know
I
how I
just,
feel about birds. Birds and me,
yes, I
we ain't
just freaked
friends.
out. That just, yes.
We ain't friends. So I'm my fireplace, I didn't boarded it up. I'm like, oh, you ain't coming out. You gonna have to come in when you gonna have to go out when you came in, whatever.
That's not your
Nobody tell
bestie.
you to get it. Nobody tell you to go in there. In there
Miss
singing,
Morning,
getting on my nerves.
Miss Morningstar won't even walk. If you're walking and we see bird, she will not walk by there. But
I don't do
I didn't
birds,
even think
y'all.
about that.
Birds.
But that right there is some good money, because if I have a bird in my chimney, I'm gonna pay
I'm
whatever
gonna
it is.
pay. That's what
I
I'm
need to
saying.
pay.
I'm like,
Come
okay,
get a bird.
Hilarious.
And I'm quite sure those people who are coming have been trained to, they're gonna have to get on the roof,
they're gonna have to get
because
up
they
there.
definitely can't come in the house,
They
because if
can't
you
go
move
through
the
it. They
board,
gotta go
yes,
up.
they can go up, yeah.
And that
So
bird is in there singing his little tail off. I'm like,
My
anybody
goodness.
well,
say you going there?
that goes to show you right there that there's always a need for something. And being an entrepreneur, that is, I've been an entrepreneur, it seems like, all my life.
Yeah.
Although I've always had a black job, I've always had a second job. I mean, it's not even a job, it's just something else that I want to do
It's a
versus
Your
job,
what I
girl.
have
It's a
to do.
job. It's
Yeah.
a fun job. I call it fun job.
This is what I want to do. If I could do only this and only my skincare and only fitness, then that's what I would do. But I have to get out there and analytics, do finance, because I got bills like everybody else. But I applaud anyone who steps out on faith and does it. And look at us. Nothing stops us.
And I'm
What can
telling
stop
y'all now, we got a new generation of some
power?
heavy, powerful hitters coming
Yes.
through. So these new
Yes.
kids that are graduating 2025, and even the ones graduated before, these children are coming out and they are
Young
hitting them.
adults.
They hitting it hard and they are excelling. And they
Yes.
smart.
Absolutely.
They
smart.
are so smart. My grandson graduates in June. I'm so proud of him. He's played ball, good grades, 4.1
Yeah.
GPA. I'm just so proud of him. And he wants to be a dentist. And
It's
I'm just
awesome.
like, go do it. And he's already got people he can already shadow. He already has
Beautiful.
several mentors, and he's going to LSU. Okay.
All
There you
right.
go.
Wow.
I'm a
Beautiful.
proud Nana. I really am.
Beautiful.
And we have to be proud of our
Yeah.
babies, Now I just got to get the 6-year-old. He need to go to college with him. Can they do 2 for 1?
That is hilarious. And to your point, DJ Kitty, that's hilarious. But to your point, DJ Kitty, when you talked about faith, we have to trust our kids. You know, it's kind of like the scripture that says one man plants, another man waters. And then you have to trust the process. You know, when we know that we've put into them all the things that are essential for them to be, you know, great people in society and for them to survive, we have to let them find their purpose. Let them, you know, whatever is calling them, you know, we have to let them go to that, because that's their place. That's their power. That's their plight. And to DC's point, we all have a different one, you know, and I know as parents, you know, we're compelled to protect them, but you know, they have to blaze their own trail.
Yeah, and that's the hard part, though, letting go. Because I'm talking to my daughters now, and I know how hard it was for me. And my oldest went to the military. And when I tell you,
my anxiety and my
I know we can't even talk to
my
you right
child ain't till next year.
We
she
can't even
graduated
talk
in
to you right now.
2026. She's going into her senior
We already
year.
know.
And I'm already planning, like, so where you going? Y'all need to give me an apartment. She's like, Mom, you can't come.
My daughters were talking about getting an apartment. I said, y'all let him be an adult. Do not get an apartment. Well, we're just gonna get the apartment, and
just
so
in
when we
case.
coming back, no, you can go get you can go stay at a hotel. You do not need to get an apartment in
Girl,
Louisiana.
it's so hard to cut that cord,
Please.
Yeah, but we got to. I get it.
Yes. It was hard for me, but I made it through. You'll be okay. I'll be here for it's you and your husband
sliding down the wall.
But both of y'all gonna be sliding down the wall, not helping each other. Both of y'all, I'm gonna come knock on the door, do a welfare check for both of y'all.
Sliding down the wall.
Well,
but proud.
It's a fun time, though. All these graduates, and they have the entire, all the opportunity in the world to say, what do I want to do next? Yep. And then we as parents and as their mentors, we're just supposed to be there to support them.
Right.
And if you're out there listening and you're a young adult and you need someone to help you forge through and figure it out, please get in touch with us. As you can see, we love to talk. We love to talk, and we just don't talk. We put action behind it. So we definitely want you to be a part of our plugs, and we want to be a part of your journey as well. There is so much that we have to offer, and these young people, I'm so happy for them. I'm happy.
Absolutely. I mean, the journey of transition from in-home kid to being outside the house and like Reggie said, having to navigate some of the challenges that you'll see as a college student on campus. Yeah, I mean, I went through it. My oldest son, he didn't want to go to a HBCU. He had picked a private college he wanted to go to, and he was locked in on that private college. That was the only thing he wanted to do. But in the interim, what I did was I applied to a HBCU, and I took care of all the paperwork. And so when he got that rejection letter from that private college he'd been locked in on since he was a freshman in high school, I had the letter of acceptance to the HBCU.
That's
and
smart. I love that, DC.
Yeah, and when he got down there and he saw what it was all about, North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride,
he had a blast.
He was in love. He was in love
with
that experience. So that's what we have to do for parents. Is just be there to back up your children, to support their decisions, but have a plan B.
I agree,
and be there to support them, because not everything's going to fall their way, but they need to know that no matter what happens, they have a strong support system that's going to be there to pick them up when they fall down.
I absolutely love that, DC, for you to be proactive and think ahead for him. I think that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
You just never know what's going to happen, so it's up to us to make sure that, okay, that happened, but here's your plan B. That's very smart. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. You
Absolutely.
know, being a parent is the best job in the world. It is the best job, and it's hard, sometimes thankless, but it's the very best job in the world. But being a grandparent, baby, there is nothing like it. Wait until you have your first grandchild, Tam, 10 years from now, maybe 15, because
Yeah,
y'all
well,
is
you know,
10 to
I
15, maybe
have
20.
grandchildren actually, but
Yeah.
my biological, but I have, yeah, it's a good feeling. So I know that one feeling of the Bible
Ooh,
is
Yeah.
overwhelming.
yes. DC, do you have grandchildren yet?
I do. I have two, a boy and a girl. They were born 10 months apart, so
Oh,
so
good.
so they're like twins.
Oh,
Ava and Aiden,
oh,
Oh,
and
cool.
they're both
Cool.
wonderful. Very
Love
proud
it.
of them. Very proud of them. So
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
Papa.
Papa. And Reggie, you have a grandson, right?
I have 5 grandchildren.
Oh,
I
wow.
have 2 grandsons and I have 3 granddaughters. I have 2 sons,
Ooh.
and I never, had a daughter.
Yeah.
But man, when my granddaughter was born,
Ooh.
I
It's over.
felt it was like I had this maternal protective, like the day she was born. I'm like, why do I feel like I want to strangle somebody? And I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, so this is what dads experience when they have daughters.
Right.
Yes.
Bet
And
nobody do nothing to that baby girl.
Okay.
oh my, you you're
I
gonna
am.
have you're gonna
Yeah.
have heaven and earth to deal with,
Yeah.
you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
know. But yeah, I have 3 granddaughters. So I got my daughters now. My 3 granddaughters, and I have 2 grandsons. And yeah, and
Okay.
actually, it's so funny because my son took her to Universal Studios today because my daughter-in-law signed her up to be a call-in extra on movie
Oh,
sets. And
good.
so she went in and they did her makeup and they did her wardrobe, and she's on the set of some production that Nicole Kidman is starring in.
Oh,
So it was a
wow. That's
yeah,
Wow.
so
That's
it's pretty
awesome.
awesome.
cool.
How
That's
old is she?
awesome.
She
How old is
she
she,
just turned
Reggie?
12. She just turned 12.
She
That's
is
Yeah.
good. That is
that's a big
exciting.
deal for her.
Yes, it
It's a
Yeah.
is.
big deal, right? It was a really
Yeah.
exciting moment. My son sent me the photo. I was like, oh my God, my baby's growing up.
They
Yeah,
grow
so it's
up
really
so
cool.
fast. That's
Really cool.
beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, congratulations to your baby. I'm still
Okay,
waiting on
thank you.
my granddaughter, but my kids all said one and done, so I'll be waiting. Some maybe I'll have a surprise, surprise, surprise.
And that's another thing too, you guys. Like, we don't have to wait until they get to career age, because there are productions happening everywhere in Atlanta, all the major cities. Look for casting agencies. Expand their landscape, give them experiences. It builds their confidence, and when they get a call, because my granddaughter made money today. That money goes into her little bank. She got the she got the call, and that's validation for them.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just it's letting them kind of feel those experiences as they're coming into their adolescence and into their adulthood, that really build them and prepare them for those moments when they're going to leave the nest, and be on their own.
That's amazing, Reggie, and
I
that's
agree
Mhm.
with
really
that.
great advice. Great
I agree
advice.
with that.
Well, we've got about a minute left before the end of the show. I really want to thank you guys. You guys come with so much information, and when we started Our Plugs, the thought was to make sure that we covered what the community has, or I'm sorry, cover what the community needs. And we really have some really great things that are coming. Our guys right here are working on some fantastic things. Uh, just stay tuned. That's what I'm going to say. Just stay tuned. They've got some things up their sleeves that's for the community, and I'm so appreciative. So thank you, DC, and thank you, Reggie, as usual. Any last words? We've got about, like I said, now you have about 15 seconds. Reggie, go.
There is no failure. There is only fostering to move you forward. Everything that All the experiences that happened to you yesterday are preparing you for what God and destiny and the universe has prepared for you today. Everything that happens to you today, all the experiences are preparing you for what God and the universe have for you tomorrow. So understand, count it all joy, because there's only one process of success.
Thank you, Reggie. DC, go ahead.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. We're so
Thank
proud of you.
Absolutely. Yes, we are. Go ahead, Miss Morningstar.
Thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day, WKRA. And thank you to our YouTube chat for always coming out and supporting us. Have a good day.
And I'm going to say you have listened to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We thank you for listening in. Please tune in. We are live every morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We will see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey y'all.